4-3-3. Very much like the 4-2-3-1, it's one of the most popular formations in today's football. Why is that? It's perfectly balanced, super solid, and basically covers aspects in defence and attack. Again, like the 4-2-3-1, your defence is covered by your centre-backs and your full-backs or wing-backs, but this time you have additional help from a central midfielder dropping into the defensive midfield strata, and obviously, of course, you've got the other two central midfielders as well. That makes it a lot more solid. And speaking of the central midfield, that is the main strength of this tactic. The three in midfield there, super solid, really hard to break down, and if you focus your play through them, that's going to be your strength of this tactic. Keeping on the solid theme, you can see the wide area is going to be super well covered by your wing-backs, full-backs, combining with your wide men. So in attack, you're left with your striker to do most of the work, backed up by your two wide men and possibly one of the central midfielders. So in this part of the video, it's all about how you want your team to play. Now, if you want to play wide, using the guys outside, putting them to wing is going to be a good start, so they're going to supply the width, and you've got your striker up there, ready and waiting. So now you're super strong down the wide flanks, you've got wing-backs combining with wingers, so your flanks are going to be a positive area for you. However, that does then kind of maroon your striker to be by himself, so that's where it's going to get super important that your two central midfielders, the more advanced ones, are going to be the guys to back up your striker in this sort of position. Therefore, an advanced playmaker on attack, getting into the pockets could be an option. My preferred one is a central midfielder on attack, making those runs into the box, and I would not be scared at all of potentially having both of them doing that. That perhaps may seem extreme, but do remember that not only do you have the two centre-backs sitting back, but you've got the anchor of the midfield as well, so pushing these two on into more of a position like this when you've got the ball means that your striker will have a bit of backup. However, an alternative way to play, and it's one favoured by teams like Liverpool, is to have the two wide men as additional wide strikers, most of the time as inside forwards, just like that, meaning they will come inside to support the main striker. Therefore, your width is going to have to come from your full-backs, either on wing-back support, full-back attack or wing-back attack, to supply the width and to help out the supply line. Now, if you do this, then you've got the option of having one or perhaps even two midfielders backing it up, but then you are getting super attacking and possibly a little bit too squashed in this area with players tripping over each other, so you need to think about how you're going to use your central midfielders. In effect, when you're in position and attacking, your team's going to be in that sort of shape with these guys coming inside and your wing-backs pumping up, so it's probably not advisable to have both central midfielders bombing on as well. Maybe one of them can bomb on, but maybe a more solid approach with the other midfielder could be the way. My personal favourite is to have a box-to-box midfielder backing up the strikers and midfielders, but also getting back, and then a more creative one next to him. Mezzala is a favoured one as he will drift out wide, backing up one of your wing-backs, allowing your inside forward to get inside and do his work. And don't forget your holding midfielder on all this. That's exactly what he's for in that defensive midfield zone. As we get more attacking, we do need someone to hold back, especially as your wing-backs are bombing on. He's going to supply the cover in case they get caught out of position. If you go for the wide approach, this is a sort of setup I like to favour. So we've got our two wingers doing most of the damage out there, and a really lively striker as an advanced forward. Pressing forward as well could be an option. Then in midfield, like I said, these two ahead of a defensive midfielder, bombing on with an attacking midfielder and an advanced playmaker. In behind, we've got an inverted wing back popping into these holes here when the central midfielder pushes on, and a full back on support, not needing to get too high up thanks to the winger, but backing him up nonetheless. If I'm going for a more narrow attacking approach with two inside forwards backing up a lone striker, I'll have both of them really aggressive because they're going to be the main ones supplying the creative edge. And in midfield, I've got a box-to-box midfielder basically covering all the ground. I like a Roma as well. He's going to be in and around, getting that ball, giving it, because he's going to have a lot of options to aim at, the three up front, and overlapping wing-backs both sides. We also stick in a defensive midfielder to hold his position in there, like as we said, the wing-back's going to be bombing on. He's going to have a lot of work to do to help out the back two. So very much like the 4-2-3-1, it's not hard to realise why lots of teams go for it. It's more of a safe bet than a 4-2-3-1, but again, it's got super flexibility, and if you're chasing a goal, you can easily switch to a 4-2-3-1, using the same type of players, just switching the roles up a bit. So there we have two versions of the way you can play out wide using that sort of setup, or you're going for a more narrow striking approach, you can use that one as well. Just remember, you're looking to fill spaces, looking to fill gaps, get everything covered, use that analysis tab, and you can see you got a lot of the pitch covered well in that version, and in the narrow one, same kind of gig. So we know we're setting it up right. The only hard part is getting your team instructions right.